Hello, everyone. We are here for the second installment of Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, The Astonishing Power of Feelings. Let's see your copy, Jay-Z. Whoa, we're reading the same book. It's like we're best friends reading the same book from
Yeah, it is.
different coasts. We sure do figure out how to be best friends from different coasts. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's all about reading the same content on each coast.
Well, it's also about consistency.
That's true. That's true. We never miss a week of seeing each other. Okay, I'm on page 18. I don't know if you want to open up to page 18 at all.
All right.
Not trying to tell you what to do, just okay. So there's this four steps in manifestation here. And so I want to talk to you about the four steps.
All right.
Okay, so the first thing is we want to identify what we don't want. Okay. So let's use an example of what are you trying to manifest right now that we could use these steps on?
Well, I am trying to manifest a date in my town.
Okay. So you're manifesting a partner or a boyfriend in your town.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And I'll work on the manifestation of I don't know, just because it's a basically it's a challenging one of trying to lose 20 more pounds. Like I lost 25 pounds and now I'm gonna manifest losing 20 more pounds.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's identify what we don't want. What don't you want?
Oh, well, I don't want um someone who lives far away and is not conveniently located. And I don't want someone who's no fun.
Nah, you don't want a long distance relationship. You don't want to be alone.
Oh
Like
yeah. I don't want to be alone. Like I don't want to not have it's funny because I'm now phrasing my things like that with the nose in them, but whatever. Uh I want, I don't want to always be the one thinking of the ideas of what to do and then finding the things to do and doing them. And yeah, sometimes I would just like to be the person who is the passenger.
interesting. So you want to be an activity creation receiver.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't always want to be the activity creation dump
Coordinator.
coordinator. Okay, okay, all right. Interesting. There's several things you don't want. But no, I totally agree with you that long distance, like a lot of people don't clarify that they don't want long distance and then they manifest a long distance partner and all of a sudden they're kind of stuck with somebody who lives all the way across the world or whatever. And they're like,
Mhm.
how do I get in this long distance relationship? Well, it's like, well, you took and committed to the long distance one instead of waiting for the short distance one, basically. When I was single, I totally put a parameter on short distance too. Like I was like not doing a long distance one. Like I didn't know. I was like I'd rather be single and wait for someone in my town, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to be conveniently located.
Well, because cuddling's a thing. I mean, if you're trying to manifest a cuddle partner, it's like it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess if when my with mine, I would say what I don't want is have to worry about gaining weight. Like I don't necessarily care about being thin, but I do care about having to worry about like why am I gaining weight and being out of control. Like that was bothering me is like I just didn't know why I kept putting on weight. Like I was like, and so I definitely don't want that feeling of being out of control. Um, and I don't want to get foot edema because like my feet had swollen up. I don't want to get health problems, things like that.
Oh yeah, that's legit.
Okay. So we identify what we don't want, and then step two, from that, identify what you do want. So I guess why do you think that identifying what we don't want helps us identify what we do want?
Well, I think that maybe the reason she uses this method is because when you ask somebody what they want, sometimes it's hard for them to articulate it because it's well, I find myself like it's obvious what I want, but then I like why I don't know, it's hard to articulate, but it's a lot easier to come up with a list of what things you don't like or don't want. I guess especially because of life experiences, like we're open to a lot of life experiences, and then we have one that's like negative, and we're like, uh-oh, don't want that, and then we put it on a list. So maybe it's easier to get out that list first.
Yeah, I do think it's like whittling down the options is like really important for manifestation to realize like why you don't want a long distance partner. It's like you can't be held by that person. Like I don't want that. Like I don't want to not be held. Like, that's what's happening now. You know what I mean? Like, or like, it's like, no, I don't want to like gain 10 pounds a month. Like, not that all bodies are beautiful. I just want to say like body positivity core, like it's not that I wasn't beautiful or anything like that. It's just like I don't want to feel out of control. Like I don't know. I just feel like we by really feeling like it's almost like deal breakers on life. It's like in relationships you want to be I don't want somebody who is on is addicted to cocaine or whatever. Like I know that sounds silly, but it's like you definitely know you don't want that, like because you're clean and sober, right? Like, am I allowed to?
Right. Right, right. Yeah, you can totally say that. Yeah, and so that's the other thing is like I don't want somebody who's not gonna participate equally with me in the relationship itself.
Mm, okay.
And I don't want someone who isn't gonna like contribute equally to things either, you know? Like I want us to both put in and I want it to be fair.
Mhm. Do you want a polyamorous boyfriend?
Oh no, sorry. That's another thing I don't want. No ethical non-monogamy business. No, no.
Okay,
Only monogamy only for this guy.
interesting. So I actually think this is cool because in your manifestation process, you could actually make a list of things that you definitely like are definite like must haves. Like polyamory is a deal breaker for you at this
Oh,
point.
absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know,
it is.
And so when you meet people, you can be like, I'm looking for a monogamous man who loves to do activities and is awesome. It's like, and like, there won't be any confusion about your vision. Like, oh, well, are you open to a little polyamory? Like, I live near you, but I have a partner. It's like, are you open to me? No.
No.
No. All right. All right. Okay, from what I don't want, I can identify what I do want, which is to feel in control of my body and like what size it is like it's more than even manifesting a certain weight. It's just like feeling like I have a decision or a choice about what I look like or how much I weigh. Like so I want to I guess what I'm more looking for than a certain number is control and cognizance of how what I'm eating translates into weight, I guess. Huh. Well, gosh, sometimes this exercise mixes you up. Like, do I really want 160? Is 160 really important to me? Like, I don't actually care if I'm 160 or 180. I just want to feel like I have a choice, honestly. It's like body sculpting. I want to be a body sculptor.
Right, right. Well, it is true that like we are all our own kind of like artwork, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
we're a project and the outcome is what we present to the world, both physically and like on all the other levels too.
yeah. Well, like one things I do want is to wear a corset, like there's certain outfits I want to wear that I feel like I want it to look a certain way in a certain body shape. So it is a sculpture. It's like I want to present certain kind of sculpture to the world and like
Mhm.
a doll time, when I have doll time, I want to I want to be able to dress myself confidently in the outfits I want to wear and with the shape I want to have.
Oh, right on. Makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay, so step one, identify what you don't want. From that, identify what you do want. So I guess the don't want is like looking at deal breakers. It's like no, no, no. It's shutting doors. It's like we want to shut doors on things, and then it opens a door into what we're actually walking into. Okay. So step 3, get into the feeling place of what you want.
Ooh, this is what we were talking about last time. Like, what does it mean to be in the feeling place, and why is that important? Um, and I do think, like we were talking about last time, that the the more you can kind of hone in on a visceral feeling of the wish fulfilled, as Neville Goddard said, feeling the wish fulfilled, then we'll be able to manifest that thing. And I guess you have to figure out what it is you want so then you can imagine that vividly. So
Hmm.
maybe for you, like it would be something like you really imagine yourself wearing that corset. Like, what does it look like? What color is it? What material is it? What does it feel like against your skin? Is it constricting? Is it not? Is it like, how do you move in it? Like, if you were sitting in it right now, if you had it on, what would that feel like?
Mm, interesting. Okay, so maybe I should like look for corsets online and imagine myself in those. Like I could even make a drawing. Like you're supposed to like Photoshop yourself in that thing. I have a friend who photoshops herself in all her manifestations. Like she's holding a lottery check and like what I mean, like all that stuff. So
Yeah, that's cool.
interesting. So and for you, it would be like photoshopping images of you like with your boyfriend doing activities like you guys are like having a fire at a campsite and like you're um playing a game of upwards and you're snuggling and you're just and your brains are equally big.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and we're having great conversations and we're going to events together. That's interesting because I did start making a vision board in which I started by just like trying to find pictures of, but like that's really hard because like I am open to, all sorts of like a picture is a little limiting when you want to, get like a boyfriend because like how
Because
do
you
I know?
don't know what he's going to look like, so how do you
Yeah,
put him in a picture? Yeah.
yeah. Like and it kind of narrows it down like racially or age or whatever or hairstyle. Like when you pick pictures like from somewhere, I don't know. It seemed a little weird.
Can you it be a brainstem that's got a marshmallow body to snuggle with? Because you want a brainstem like someone super smart, and you want someone to have and hold.
Right, right. Well, that's interesting.
Could it be
I
the
don't
things
know.
you
Let me think
know
about
that you need? Like,
think. Oh, what are there things that I know I need?
well, like, could it be the things that you know that you need? Like, you need someone who's smart and you have good conversations with. So it's like, how can you show that in a picture?
Yeah, right. That's interesting. And I wonder if it's like if in my vision board I should make it of like non-human characters because then it's clear that it's not that. Like if we're two uh kittens cuddling or if we're two, I don't know, horses galloping or what I don't know what it would be. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, I think there's a lot of ways to make an image where you are open to whatever God or the universe fills in, but it's like I think it's like knowing what you know that it's like how do you depict that, like what are the deal breakers, like what are all the deal breakers whittled down to, like like I think a brainstem is like part of what you're seeking. It's like you want somebody who's mentally compatible with you,
Hmm.
right? You don't care what their race is, like how tall they are, but like maybe something where your brains and personalities like meld and you that's part of doing activities is like talking and enjoying the activity together and but I guess the brain could look a lot of different ways. It could play games or not play games. It could like are there specific activities like when I was single, I was definitely looking for a nerd guy to play games with. Like I remember, and I actually on our first date took my boyfriend out to play Magic the Gathering to kind of test him out, because and I would try to date guys and they wouldn't play Magic, and I was like, oh, you're not really what I'm looking for. Like, so are there activities that are deal breakers, and like, could that be part of the vision board?
I'm not sure that that's true. Although, like, music is definitely a big thing for me. So it would be nice to have somebody who's into music, but then they'd also have to kind of be into like this, not the same kind of music, but like genre wise appreciate things that I appreciate and I would likewise.
But I feel like you'd be open to going to different venues. Like if they were cool, like you do whatever.
Yeah, yeah, but I think that the key is if they're cool, like maybe it's like we assume that what we think is cool, other people would think are cool,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if
Um,
you can use words like in lieu of a person. It's like you, and it's like someone who's cool. Like, but it's like music. Like could see you with a musician or not. Like somebody who just appreciates music. Like there's so many ways to interface with you. Like what
yeah.
are the deal breakers? That's so interesting.
Well, I guess it would be like I wouldn't want to be with someone that's like a total sports fan and all they wanted to do was like go to games or root for their home team because I'm not like that. That's not my vibe.
Maybe on your vision board, it's you and then an entity that's a brain and a body to snuggle with at any body. So it could be a non-human. It could be like a kitten body with a human brain. And then it could be like all the activities you wanted to do, like tantra, music, like, and you could have like all you're something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's also true. Like they have to be open to tantra and they have to want to have a lot of sex.
Okay. Okay. So maybe you'd put, that you'd put like the Kama Sutra on your vision board or something like that that depicts sexuality happening, but you don't put their body in there.
Right, right. Yeah. Hmm.
I feel like, people might say like, why is this conversation important to listen to and why are you guys doing this publicly? It's like I think what we're discovering is that in a manifestation, it's important to figure out what you don't want and what you do want and what is actually a deal breaker and like what is open to the universe to fill in. You know what I mean? Because it's like, like is my 160 a strict number or like can the universe fill in a different shape that's, like am I open to 165 or like, it's like I feel like on my vision board, do I need to be like me standing on a scale that says 160 or is it just me in a corset that I like and I feel confident and maybe I'm the scale's 168 and I'm in the corset. Like I don't really care. Maybe the manifestation is actually me in a circus corset and not 160.
Hmm.
But see, by doing this exercise, we're kind of reshaping what we're trying to manifest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it does. Gets down to what is it gonna feel like, not like what are the actual technical parameters of like the I want this.
Right, right. So it's like when you get into the feeling, you got to it kind of tweaks what are you actually seeking? Like what would actually make you feel that way? It's like I don't know that 160 would make me feel that way. Feel in control. It's like I think what would make me feel in control is like if I can wear the things I want to wear and feel good about it. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like that's what I've discovered here. It's like um so interesting. So get into the feeling place of what you want. So vision boarding is one way to do that. What are other ways to get into the feeling place?
Hmm. Well, I think like what we're doing now is like just like talking about it, discussing it with even like with your friends or people or whatever to be able to put out the vibe in the world and then they'll ask you questions to kind of clarify it and then you'll understand more the like oh, what is it that I want to feel? And I think just keeping on asking the question.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So having discussions of like what feeling am I chasing? What would actually make me feel that way? Like you changed your manifestation from I have a boyfriend to I'm constantly dating cool woke guys, or like what was that?
Oh yeah, yeah. The so my first version of this was like kind of more an affirmation, like I have a boyfriend who is, hot and woke or whatever. And then it was really hard to get behind that feeling because I didn't really feel it because like I don't.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Right? And so that and then when there's the kind of I think cognitive dissonance that you're not completely behind it, you don't have the feeling and then it doesn't work. But yeah, so I was reading another book, um this book, yeah, about conscious language and thinking about how to reword it. And that's, yeah, that's when I came up with the like, oh, or maybe when I was talking with you, I date hot woke guys because that will get me to having the boyfriend, but it will be fun along the way because, like, oh,
Right,
this is the kind of guy that I date. And
right.
then that's just who I am, and that's how I present myself. And I can really get behind presenting myself like that.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I think manifestation sentences that keep you having fun along the way and keep you feeling good about your vision is the trick. It really, So like instead of me being like Andy weighs 160, like then every time I don't weigh 160, I'm like bummed. But if I said like Andy lives an active, awesome lifestyle, constantly sculpting her body by food choices that she loves.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Right now I'm just like,
That sounds in control. It's like, and this I think goes back to what we were talking about before, like with leading indicators and lagging indicators. Like you gotta go with measuring something that you actually have control over.
mm-hmm,
Like, I don't have control over whether, like, I find a boyfriend in my town who meets my parameters right now because I just, like, haven't met them yet. But I do have, like, the ability to, date people.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah, it's like I can't control the number on the scale, but I can control my behaviors. Like Andy rages salads effortlessly and constantly, having fun every single time. Well, that like I totally can control. Like when I go to the restaurant, I can be like choosing the salad instead of a burger and be like super stoked about it. And then like whatever the scale says, whatever the scale says. It's like these are called lag indicators, right? Like they're measurements that happen later. And what we learned was that you're supposed to go with the lead indicators, which are things that are you're leading the goal formation with these certain behaviors. Like, and if you for you with your boyfriend, it's like if you reached out to 5 new people this month to hang out and meet their friends, that was you going towards your goal. But if the lag indicator is like, do I have a boyfriend or not, like that's you can't go with the lag indicator.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the leading indicator, like you're saying, is like how many times am I like going out to events where I might potentially meet this person? Because, I'm going to local things in my area that maybe other people who are conveniently located might also go to. And then they would have common interests too, because like we obviously picked the same thing to go to.
Yeah, totally. Interesting. So it's getting to the feeling place of what you want. I mean, I feel like you and I are even going beyond just getting into the feeling place of what you want, but we're getting into creating manifestation sentences that create the feeling we're looking for.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
I'm with
Okay, so step 4 is expect, listen, and allow it to happen. So what do you think about expecting your manifestation to happen?
Well, that's the other thing too. Like it has to be something that you can really feel like is feasible, or you won't expect it to happen, you know?
Yeah.
So I think you definitely do have to craft something that is somewhat under your own control, unless you're going to be all like fatalist about it and be like, this is what I want, and I let the universe figure it out, and I have faith in the utmost trust in the universe that it will provide immediately. But, I think I've learned that the universe helps those that help themselves.
Yeah. Well, I think expecting it is kind of being bold and confident in your manifestation. You're like, oh, I'll get to 160, or actually after tonight, I'll be like, oh, I'll be wearing that corset soon. Like, I'll be wearing that corset. I will definitely wear a corset in this lifetime. Like, I will be wearing, like, I don't know what month I'll arrive at wanting to wear the corset, but like, I expect that if I, keep raging salads, I'll be wearing a corset. And I
Hmm.
expect myself to rage salads. Like I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna rage salads. Like whatever. I expect myself to. I expect that will be happening. Like today'sville, I'll be raging a salad. But it's like confidence behind the manifestation of just like you know you don't want to
Yeah.
be like you don't be like I guess I might enjoy salads. Like that's not that doesn't have the oomph behind you know what I mean? You got to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a boyfriend. I
Yeah.
I expect I'll be having a boyfriend soon, or like I expect I'll be dating some guys soon. Like
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the other thing too is that I think that we learned in the other book that we were reading, Scripting Your Life, um, that like when you start practicing manifesting and then you see how it actually works, then it's easier to expect things to work.
yeah, yeah,
And you can start practicing by, manifesting things that you are pretty sure are going to happen. Like, I'm going to the grocery store later, so I'm going to manifest myself some apples,
yeah.
right? And then you're like, I will be eating a delicious crispy apple tonight, and then you do. And then you just get used to like, oh, it's like, it's half manifesting or part manifesting, part making it happen, part knowing that it will happen, and then you just like keep the knowing that it will happen feeling.
Hmm.
And yeah, I 100% know that I will be dating hot, smart, woke guys, cause and in my town, cause I'm gonna find some.
Yeah, because that's the door that you're choosing to open. It's like you could definitely like you could be opening this door like I'm fine alone. I'm a middle-aged single person and I'm fine alone. That's just so many people manifest, and I'm just like, why do you keep manifesting being alone? You know what I mean? They're like, I'm an island, I can be fine alone. I don't want to be codependent. It's just like when I was single, I would be like, yeah, I do. I enjoy being with a partner better than being alone. Thank you. Like I would just tell people like I'll be having a partner soon. Like, and I would try. I would like go after it. Like, and I finally did. I manifested my man Shane. But it was like it was this like dance between like just I don't know, like I just think it's like if you open the door to the grocery store and you walk over the apples, you're gonna get an apple. you know if I open the door to my life and I eat salads all day, eventually I'm gonna feel awesome wearing a corset. Like it's just manifesting isn't like rocket science in a weird way. It's just like think about what you want and then go after it, and then
Yeah.
expect that the world wants you to have what you want. Like I think a lot of people feel like I can never get what I want, or like I never have this or never have that. And it's like they're first of all impatient. Like some things take time.
Yeah, that's true too. And you just have to be, you also, not just, but you have to be consistent in like that you actually want that. And the next day you wake up and you're like, no, this is what I want. And then the next day you wake up and wait, what were you saying the other day? Like you got to think about something for 30 minutes a day?
Totally, like whatever you want. Like if you want a boyfriend to do activities with, you're like you think about it for 30 minutes a day, and like then it will start to become real.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, like you say, you can't just like think about it one day for 10 minutes and then the next day being like, I never get anything.
Well,
There
okay,
has
so
to be something to behind it.
here's an example of this. So I lost 25 pounds in the last 2.5 months, and I started to lose steam on this weight loss thing because I was just like, I'm kind of like, you know, how when things are new and interesting, you're kind of like really into them, and then they become kind of formulaic. And like this weekend, I went to two bazaars and I ate like bizarre food, I ate like a hot dog and nachos, and I just was like kind of giving up. And I realized, oh, I'm not thinking about it enough, right? So I pulled out this book, Weight Loss God's Way, the proven 21-day weight loss devotional Bible study that I had on my
Oh yeah, you showed me that book before. I
anyway,
remember.
so I started reading this again today just to start thinking about weight again because it's like I just stopped thinking about it. I'm like, not, it's not in the front of my mind yet. It is like anymore. So it's like I got to start thinking about it again in order to make it happen. So that's kind of what I'm learning about manifesting. One of the things is you got to be persistent in your like thinking about a thing. If in goal driven, because a lot of manifestation is goal driven. Like for example, with the Moira Press, one of the things we were trying to manifest is like big classes or bigger classes. Well, I basically got tired and stopped thinking about bigger classes, so I never tell anyone about the Moira Press classes. We have a nice Tuesday class that is kind of big, but like I never think about making the classes bigger, so they've stopped growing. But it's
Mhm.
just because I'm just not thinking about that right now. But if I was, I'd be talking about it online, be talking about it on Facebook, and we'd be growing. But it's like what happened was we got enough people in the Tuesday class that I'm like done thinking about it. I'm like, all right, I don't have to think about that anymore. You know what I'm saying? But if I wanted to, I could think that thing bigger, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's where you spend your energy too.
Yeah,
You know?
totally. So expect, listen, and allow it to happen. So what does this mean? Listen, listen for your manifestation.
Oh, well, in that part is where she's saying like oh, you know that old joke like that this person was in a flood and then they were standing on their roof and like they were then this boat came by and said, "I'll rescue you." And they're like, "No, God will rescue me. Don't worry, keep going." And then somebody else came and is like, "Hey, do you need a ride?" And they're like, "No, God will rescue me." And then they ended up drowning. And then they got to heaven, and God was like, "Dude, I sent you five." They're like, "God, why did you abandon me?" And God's like, "Dude, I sent you five different things."
Yeah, God comes in the form of humans for sure. Like, I love that lesson. Like, people always think, yeah, like, we talk about that at the Course in Miracles, how like God is coming at you from all sides, including humans and books and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's what she means by listen is like, and then, when your friend invites you to go to a, Cape Ann Guitar Society event, like go to it with them
Yeah.
because then you might meet someone in your town that like appreciates music, that kind of thing.
Right, right. Interesting. Like, go if you have a Weight Loss God's Way book on your shelf, go pull it out and read it because that will bring, listen to the book, listen to the, I just started listening to my weight loss hypnosis CDs again last night, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna listen to the weight. So I hear what you're saying. It's like a lot of manifestation is what you choose to listen to, is depending on what your goals are, is what you hone in on, kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think also maybe it's a bit of the like if you keep thinking about it, then it's easier for you to see the signs too of like what might lead to the thing that you want. Like you'll notice the salads on the menu and choose from them.
Yeah, totally. You'll notice the guys in your town and choose from them as opposed to the girls in your town, like whatever, or whatever. Okay. Okay. So listen, I like hearken when there are things coming at you that go with your manifestation. Like hearken. Like hark,
Yeah.
I've been invited to a place where men might be.
But
Okay.
it's so dark out and cold.
Yeah. but I am manifesting a man and I will be going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And allow it to happen. So allow it to happen. Why wouldn't you allow your manifestation to happen?
Oh, I think then is when you start adding to the parameters of the ways that life needs to provide things to you. You're like, well, I didn't think of this criteria before, but now let me add this one in. And now let me add this other one in. And then let me add this other one in to like eliminate the possibility of it actually ever happening.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of it's like you have to open up space in your schedule for that thing, whatever it is, Um, like I have to allow myself the ability to go get a salad bag from the grocery store if I'm going to eat a salad. I can't just open up the cupboard and eat whatever's in there. Like I got to allow time and space and allow time for exercise and allow. Like so interesting. Or like if a friend was like, I have a blind date for you, Jay-Z. You have to be like, "Okay, I'm going to go." Instead of being like, "Oh no, 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 I don't need that."
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, yeah, maybe it's the thing too of like, you can't get afraid when it's about to happen and then like lose your steam, you know?
Yeah, totally. Okay, interesting. So identify what you don't want. From that, identify what you do want. Get into the feeling place of what you do want and expect, listen, and allow it to happen.
All right, let's do that.
All right, do you have any comments? That's our lesson for today.
No, that seems good to me. I think that's enough to work on.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I want to see your vision board next time.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna do a part three.
Oh yeah, I
And
want to work through it. We're this far through the book, and we got to get through the whole book.
okay, cool. And yeah, all right, we'll be back, maybe with our vision boards.
All right, we're on page 23.
All right, cool.
All right, I love you.
Talk
I'll
to you
see
later.
you tomorrow.
I love you too.
All right, send me that recording.
Okay, I will.
All right, bye.